Speaking of Roman Reigns, up next we had Roman Reigns catching up with Vickie Guerrero. He asks her if she can put a good word in for him to get into the Battle Royal, and he kind of flirts with her, and he's doing the whole seduction thing, and she might want to kiss the Authority's butt for the rest of her career, but if she doesn't, then maybe she should do something and stand up to him, and at least she should do her job right, because they're probably going to want, I forget if he said sugar or creamer, for the Authority's coffee, and she runs off, and he slips something into the coffee that she left behind, and then when she gets back, he hands it back to her, and he kind of just says, so when are you going to tell the Authority to take this job and shove it? And she sneezes and then walks off, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, nothing more I could really add to that.
Okay, so normally I don't do this, but this is hilarious. I'm reading No DQ here, and they have, and I quote, still to come, Kane versus Kane in a stretcher match.
That is hilarious.
Way to go, No DQ writers. Way to go. So up next we had Bray Wyatt versus Sheamus. But before the match actually starts, the Wyatt family does cut a promo.
Oh, yes, the maestro of the microphone, Bray Wyatt, indulges us with his words, and you know I always love it. Pretty much, again, to give the gist of this promo, like I did for the Authority promo, pretty much says that the WWE Universe, that's his home. That's where, he is strong and he has his power, and all he has to do is climb that ladder, because at Money in the Bank, what hangs above that ladder, and he points to the championships, that's all the absolution I need. And once I acquire it, I'll be able to lead you to the future you desire, man. And he begins laughing, and then he, points to the Wyatt family, and he says, these men, my brothers, they will dominate, and they are strong. And then it dawns on me, because, and again, thanks to commentary, and I felt like commentary, when they really wanted to be, were so on point tonight, and really illuminated what matters and things that I wouldn't have previously thought about. Because it is official that the Wyatt family are facing the Usos for the tag titles at Money in the Bank, score for us. It's possible that the Wyatt family could have a clean sweep at the pay-per-view.
Yep.
And that, to me, just no words. None. It's
Dude,
amazing.
could you imagine them opening Raw the next night, coming out, Bray has 2 titles, and each of the other guys have 1 each?
Dude, there is no better imagery than that. I can already imagine in my mind, because you know how when Bray just falls to his knees, he spreads his arms out and he says, follow the buzzers. I can picture him
1 title in each hand?
A title around each arm, yep.
And oh my God, yes.
I mean, that to me, look, I said it to you, I think, last episode too. I'm saying it again here, even knowing what we know now that came of the night. I still say Bray Wyatt's the favorite in this match.
The side plates would have goat faces on them.
Yeah, I wonder what the side plates, maybe they'd be buzzards. But yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it would be goat masks.
Yeah, it probably would be. You're probably right, because that is the signature of the Wyatt family. But yeah, I think Bray Wyatt's the favorite. I really believe he's going to become champion at Money in the Bank. And even though I won Cesaro, I'm such a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. I'm not even going to care at that point if Bray is holding those titles. Yeah. It's going to be such a pop. He's so good right now. He really, despite the setbacks he's had with Cena, he really has just been on a freaking roll with promo delivery and everything else. I could buy him as champion. I really could. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. To me, the only acceptable winners of this match are Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, or no, wait, I think that's it. Or Orton. Orton, that's right. I forgot about him. Bray Wyatt, yeah. Cesaro, or Orton. Because to me, it needs to be a heel. So that automatically eliminates Cena, Reigns, Sheamus. Who else is in it?
Well, Del Rio's in it, but he's a heel.
Del Rio, yeah. I mean, he's irrelevant.
Right.
So it really does need to be a heel. So to me, it comes down to Cesaro, Wyatt, and again, I forgot who else was in it. Orton, yeah, of course. So I keep on forgetting Orton. That's kind of sad. But to me, those 3 guys are the only options, because if any of those 3 guys wins it, it's going to set up a great storyline for Bryan to come back to. And unfortunately, I will say that another distinct possibility, as much as I'd like to disqualify all the baby faces, Cena could win it, because that would set up Cena versus Bryan at SummerSlam for the 2nd year in a row.
That is very true. No, that is very true, and I'd be lying if I said that there was any, illegitimacy in your claim. They could very easily go with Cena, but to me, Dude, I mean, I know I always say never bet against Reigns, and really, it was really just a joke because he's so strong and he's paid such dividends for me in terms of, in our booking contests and everything else. But I just think that it's going to be Bray. He'll have a successful first defense against Cena, and he'll look just like this unstoppable, insurmountable obstacle for Daniel Bryan when he comes back, and they'll have a great match. Potentially even at SummerSlam. See, I don't know, because they had all these plans with Cesaro, Lesnar, Bryan, all these guys getting named, and you don't really know where they want to go with it, but I'm keeping my eye on Bray Wyatt real close. Real
Dude, to me,
close.
the only guy that they could give the title to at this point that would make me, like, super disappointed would be Del Rio. Because if they give the title to Cena, we have Bryan Cena 2 at SummerSlam. If they give the title to Sheamus, to me, Sheamus isn't winning this match unless he turns heel and sides with the Authority. So that makes for an interesting storyline. If they give the title to Roman Reigns, you're going to die on live reactions. If they give the title to Cesaro, again, you're going to die on live reactions. If they give the title to Bray Wyatt, we're both going to die on live reactions. And if they give the title to Orton, it makes perfect sense from a storyline standpoint because he got handed the opportunity in the first place, and it brings back the whole idea that Bryan has to work for everything he gets and Orton gets handed everything. So really, the only way that they can go wrong here, and I'm gonna say the only two ways that they can go wrong here, are if they give the title to Del Rio or if they give the title to babyface Sheamus. Again, I think that in order for Sheamus to win, he would need to side with the Authority, which is why I said that him winning would be a positive because I don't think there's any alternative. But if they would decide to give it to him as a babyface, that would be a mistake in my opinion. But other than those two guys, any way would be very interesting.
I think you just said everything, and the prospect of both of us just losing our minds on live reactions, like, that just gets me so pumped. I can't wait for Money in the Bank, but I guess if you have anything else you want to say about this promo, we can move forward.
Absolutely, dude. So let's actually let's get to the actual match: Sheamus versus Bray Wyatt. And to me, you know how I said that Raw captivated me for 3 hours of the 3 hours and 7 minutes that it was on?
Yeah.
It was probably more like 2 hours and 45 minutes because I checked out during this match.
Interesting. See, I think I only checked out in parts, but I think that was more because of my my stream. Because again, as I always like to let people know, because I know we had one listener ask us when I was talking about NXT, like, why don't you watch it on television? They asked me, and I said, well, I don't get cable, and I just use the computer all the time, so it's the best medium for me to get the network. And my stream did freeze in some parts for this matchup, but I enjoyed the chemistry they exhibited. It was yet another very physical matchup, which I like when they book Sheamus in these fight style matchups. Of course, probably playing up that he loves to fight because he's Irish and insert all these stereotypes here and this and that. But it works, and Bray Wyatt certainly has no problem getting physical. I mean, hell, they talk about how do you beat a man that smiles in the face of punishment and this and that. So I think they had a good outing. What I didn't like, even though it didn't get as bad as I thought it would, the match does have its inevitable breakdown because of the Wyatt family, but
Right.
who
That
comes
right
to
there, dude, that is exactly when I checked out. As soon as the Wyatt family got involved, and then the Usos got involved, like, I was just, okay, done. Check what's going on social networks, see what's going on Reddit, that kind of stuff, because I just didn't care anymore about the match.
You know what, dude? It's like, and I don't want to take that leap, so I want to be careful what I say here. But I'll say it like this. I love the Wyatt family, and I do want them to stay together for a good while. But if there was any positive potentially about this unit breaking up, it's that maybe finally then Bray Wyatt could really stand on his own 2 feet and be the monster that you and I know he's capable of being, taking care of his own business consistently. Because again, I just think back to how brilliant that Royal Rumble match between him and Bryan was booked, and I just think that's how Bray Wyatt should be most of the time anyway. But yeah, Usos come to make the save, and thankfully, Ashton, the 6-man tag that I thought we were inevitably going to get, well, we're going to get it. It's just that it was announced for main event and not on this Raw.
Which to me is good because, frankly, I stopped watching main event a long time ago. I watched the first few live episodes because it caught my interest, but then I realized that literally no actual storyline progression is ever going to happen there anymore. So I stopped caring again, and that's a match that I am more than happy to skip.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure a lot of people share your sentiments, so at least they didn't have to go through it. And for me, I wouldn't have wanted to deal with it on this Raw because I'm like, oh, come on, guys, don't do that, don't go that route. It just seemed too, predictable for me. So I'm glad they saved it for main event. And overall, this was a nice match.
John, I will say this.
Yeah.
Pending Sheamus pinning either Luke Harper or Eric Rowan, the only acceptable outcome of that match is for the Wyatt family to win. The only way that I will possibly accept the babyface team winning in that is if Sheamus gets the pin on one of the two guys in the tag team.
I completely agree with you. I had a problem, and you know it, with the Wyatt family beating 2/3 of the Shield and John Cena. Because I felt like they should have won that because they were more of a united front. What was that?
You mean losing to? You said you had a problem.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant losing to. Yeah, losing to. And you know what? The Usos and Sheamus, they probably will win for all intents and purposes, but I would love for the Wyatt family to go over because they're all three of them in huge championship matches. And I don't know if they're going to walk out with all the gold, but I think it would be a great teaser to have them go over here.
The summer of the Wyatts.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's a tagline I could get behind.
Absolutely. I mean, they debuted a year ago, almost to the day.
Oh my god, dude. That's actually a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Could it come full circle?
I think technically they debuted in July, but still, like, it's amazing to me that they've made this much progress in such little time on the main roster.
Yeah, and just really almost one full calendar year. That's nuts.
Not even. That's the crazy part.
Dude, I'm telling you, Bray Wyatt, I've said it for so many. I think we're getting into months territory now for how often I've said this. I think he's the best heel in the company right now. He's certainly my favorite on a personal basis. I can buy him.
How good of a heel really is he, though?
And see, that's another thing, though, and that's a legitimate question on your end, because you were even saying, I think WWE is turning him face, and especially him saying, as long as I'm in the WWE universe and having that inclusion with the audience,
yeah,
you can tell, like, he's veering away from that heel territory. And let's really be honest, I'm not saying that he's never been in that realm, because I think when he first came to the WWE, they wanted him to be there. But with Bray Wyatt's style and how he presents his words and everything, can you even really call him a heel by today's standards? I think he was just really another anti-hero, but probably one of the cooler ones that we've gotten for my money.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're turning him face, and I actually had an even greater indication that they're turning him face in the main event when he didn't help Kane beat John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah, he kept his hands clean of that, man. I would have bet the house again that we were going to hear the music and all that stuff, but no involvement. Bray's a strategist, man. He's lurking in the shadows, just watching everybody destroy themselves, just thinking, my absolution is only 12 days away now at this point. Cannot wait.
12 days, man. Wait, isn't it 13?
Well, I said yeah, because we are recording this a bit late, like after Raw, so it is officially the 17th now, so 12 days. But, give or take, regardless, Bray Wyatt's licking his chops. He can't wait to climb that ladder, and neither can I.
Absolutely. All right. So, as you said, or as we kind of mutually said, Sheamus wins by DQ because of the Wyatt family interference. And then up next, we had a segment where Vickie walks up to Triple H and Stephanie in their office, gives them the coffee. Triple H accidentally knocks it all over Vickie and send her to get more. So they announced that we're still going to get Kevin Hart tonight. And, of course, they announced the Big Battle Royal is going to be coming tonight, and we get to see a graphic of who all is going to be in it. So then we get back from the break, and we see the lights flashing on the ambulance beside the stage, and Cole hypes up the stretcher match. But then we go to Renee Young, who's backstage with Stephanie McMahon, who is still drinking the coffee that Vickie brought her. And Renee just kind of asks her who she thinks is going to win the Battle Royal tonight, and she starts to, act like she's in pain or scared or something, like she's flustered, and she runs off. She says, "May the best man win," and she runs off real quick. And as she's leaving, Paul Heyman is entering, and he cuts a promo on Money in the Bank. He actually goes there, dude. He says, "This isn't a prediction. This is a spoiler. Cesaro will win." And to me, I mean, enough said.
Yeah, really. Remember the last time he said it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler? That's when he hailed the end of The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, and we all just thought that Paul was blowing smoke in the name of creating suspense, but no, he really was letting us in. Hey, guys, it's happening. And, could he be doing it again? And maybe, this time he did it again because he knew it would have this effect, that we would be speculating, oh, man, Cesaro could legitimately win this ladder match, because the last time Paul did this, it was Brock Lesnar, and we saw how that turned out. Again,
and you know what, dude? Maybe this means that they're going forward with Cesaro as champion, and they're going to bring in Lesnar for a SummerSlam match.
That could be. And see, that's what makes this ladder match so fantastic to me, Ashton, is that this is the first ladder match I think in a long time where there legitimately are, and not just on paper, more than one strong contender. Because you have Cesaro, you have Bray Wyatt, and then you really can't disqualify as much as you'd like to a John Cena or a Roman Reigns. It's stacked, dude. It's stacked.
Honestly, dude, I think we can disqualify Roman Reigns.
I
He
think we,
he
yeah.
is to me, other than Del Rio, he is the least likely guy to win, in my opinion.
And I can agree with that simply because of the circumstances surrounding Roman Reigns at the moment. But still, with how beastly he is, they're probably going to do one or two great teases in that match that probably make us rethink for just that split second. Oh my God, is this going to happen? Which is what I think makes this match so terrific. Can't wait to see it unfold. And yeah, Heyman pretty much just hypes up his client. I love when he says, "Oh God, please don't let it be Sheamus." The internet's thoughts exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, yeah, great stuff.